Prince William plans to flex his muscles and wipe his wayward brother Prince Harry and his power-hungry wife Meghan from the history book.
Now, a staggering 2/3 of Brits are calling for Harry and Meghan to be stripped of their HRH titles.
It's hardly a secret that the palace has already conducted secret meetings with members of the government to discuss putting the plan into action.
The American actress who became a duchess, who tried to destroy the royal family, which then booted them out of England.
Harry's digging an even bigger hole for himself here.
Well, I think he's dug so deep now, he'll strike water any day now.
Prince William is reportedly formulating a plan to finally strip Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their HRH titles.
I would love reconciliation with my family. I don't know how much longer my father has. He won't speak to me because of this security stuff. But it would be nice to reconcile. If they don't want that, that's entirely up to them.
But she said she was in the trenches. She alludes to being in the trenches when she was in the British royal family. Girl, you lived in a castle. Like, you got a princess title. People were falling at your feet. People would run your bathwater for you. I mean, I could list the things, the perks. I could list them forever. The trenches. She has got to. The Delulu is on another level. Sometimes I envy.
It was agreed with Queen Elizabeth that they will not use the HRH title. That is a long-standing precedent, and there's good reason for it. Basically, the HRH is only given to working royals and senior members of the royal family.
You ever wonder what it takes to stop being royal? Not to step down, not to step back, but to be stripped, erased, and formally exiled from one of the most powerful families on earth? Because right now, Prince Harry is staring down that very fate. The House of Lords has officially moved forward with a petition to strip him of all remaining royal titles. Not just His Royal Highness, not just Duke of Sussex, everything. What's happening isn't just symbolic, it's a historic reckoning. And behind the headlines, there's something far more dangerous brewing. The British establishment is tired of being dragged through the mud. This isn't a punishment, it's a purge. For years, Harry has chipped away at the palace's image, with bombshell interviews, best-selling memoirs, and streaming deals that turned royal life into public spectacle. But now, the monarchy is striking back. And if the petition succeeds, it'll mark the first time in modern history that someone born into the royal court is erased by law, not scandal. What started as one man's search for independence is now a constitutional war. And the question echoing through Buckingham Palace is simple but brutal. Can you still be a prince if you burn down the kingdom?
You're in America now, and we don't give a shit about you. You're not our fucking prince. You'll never be king. We hate your wife. Stay at home in your $29 million mansion, all right?
When the stakes are this high, doesn't it make more sense to hear our story from us?
Oh, shut up. What do you mean the stakes are this high? Who do you think you are? Other than a latte-munching imbecile living in luxury in California while the rest of the world's at cost of living crisis, moaning and whining about an institution which gave you the titles on which you now trade millions of dollars. What are you talking about? What stakes?
Oh my God, I can't even. These two, Meghan and Harry, are the worst.
Prince Harry's downfall didn't happen overnight. It was a slow-motion collision. One headline, one confession, one explosive revelation at a time. The Oprah Winfrey interview was the spark. Accusations of racism inside the royal family. Claims of mental health neglect. Meghan opening up about feeling unprotected. It was the first time a royal had ever peeled back the palace curtain for millions to see, and the public couldn't look away. Then came the Netflix docuseries, turning personal grievances into binge-worthy drama. And just when people thought they'd seen it all, Harry dropped Spare, a memoir so raw, so unapologetic, it felt more like a televised therapy session than royal literature. Each step drove a wedge deeper between Harry and the institution that raised him. He wasn't just criticizing the monarchy, he was exposing it, dissecting it, and selling the story to the highest bidder. For the royal family, this wasn't rebellion, it was betrayal. And the House of Lords? They've had enough. The petition To strip his titles isn't about one book or one interview. It's about everything. It's the system finally saying, you've gone too far. Because every crown has a breaking point. And Harry? He might have just shattered his for good.
He's a duplicitous, self-centered, vile, disloyal hypocrite.
Harry and Meghan, they have an issue when it comes to their memory and when it comes to the truth.
Brat, to be honest, and very, very entitled.
Take me out back and shoot me, okay? Just end my agony now.
When Harry and Meghan packed their bags and left Britain, most people assumed they'd disappear into quiet luxury, raising their kids, maybe popping up on social media with the occasional black and white family photo. Instead, they did something unthinkable. They turned royal history into Hollywood content. What followed wasn't peace. It was a media onslaught, multi-million-dollar Netflix deals, Spotify exclusives, a memoir that ripped through Buckingham Palace like a storm. The couple didn't retreat from the spotlight. They redirected it, aiming it right back at the institution that once demanded their silence. The British monarchy has always operated on discretion. Its power lies in mystery, not transparency. But Harry shattered that. He turned royal life into a brand. He didn't just walk away. He walked into California and turned the firm into content. And while millions were entertained, the monarchy was horrified. You don't turn centuries of tradition into a talking point without consequences. To them, Harry wasn't just living freely, he was weaponizing his past, cashing in on royal blood. That's why this petition hits so hard. It's not about one man living his truth. It's about a crown fighting for survival. And what comes next could redraw the lines of royalty forever. This isn't just a British scandal. It's a warning ripple across every throne in Europe. Monarchies around the world have been downsizing, modernizing, and adapting to the times. Sweden trimmed royal titles. Denmark cut down the list of working royals. Even Spain has started distancing itself from scandal-plagued relatives. Why? Because in the era of social media and 24/7 tabloid culture, royal families are realizing they can't afford to carry dead weight, or worse, liabilities in designer suits. And Harry? He became the poster child of that liability. The message echoing through palaces across Europe is loud and clear. If you're not serving the crown, you're not wearing it. You can't blast the institution in a documentary, ghostwrite a bombshell memoir, and still expect to be called Your Royal Highness. Monarchies are moving toward leaner, tighter models, symbols of service, not spectacle. So when Harry flipped the script and turned his royal exit into a personal brand, it wasn't just embarrassing, it was existential. The petition in the UK isn't happening in a vacuum. It's part of a global reckoning. Across continents, monarchies are choosing survival over sentiment. And Harry, he's the cautionary tale future royals will study and be warned never to repeat.
Yeah, she's gaslighting, she's lying, absolutely. And this is just another one of those examples of Harry and Meghan disrespecting the Queen. I know she is no longer here, but that does not mean that the rules don't apply to you any longer.
A new poll by Find Out Now has revealed that most of the public is supporting the King in this family feud, ongoing family feud, after Harry's bombshell BBC interview. It follows the Court of Appeal's decision to not overturn the ruling on his security in the UK.
Harry and Meghan didn't just walk away from the monarchy. They reinvented it in their own image. Gone were the palace protocols and official portraits. In came Netflix specials, podcast monologues, and candid interviews lit like Oscar-worthy documentaries. The couple took centuries of royal mystique and turned it into a streaming empire. Buckingham Palace, once a symbol of tradition and secrecy, became backstory for a multi-million-dollar media brand. And make no mistake, it was intentional. Every detail, every grievance, every emotional reveal was packaged with precision. Meghan wasn't the silent duchess. She was a media-savvy force who knew how to own the narrative. Harry, once the wild younger brother, became the voice of royal disillusionment. Together, they didn't just leave the firm. They monetized their trauma. Critics called it exploitation. Supporters called it liberation. But to the monarchy, it was pure heresy. Royals are supposed to serve, not sell. Their silence is their strength. But Harry and Meghan broke that code, trading palace etiquette for California candor. And for the royal institution, built on image and legacy, that was a step too far. Rebranding royalty might have gained them millions of fans, but it cost them their last shred of royal goodwill.
It's not a financial thing. Working royals do not profit. They do not use their names to make money. It's an honour to have an HRH.
Absolutely.
So the fact that she's continued to use this HRH when they've been instructed not to, I think is absolutely infuriating in Buckingham Palace.
I don't gotta do this. Please, I'm begging you to stop. You just can't keep faking it. This is a lady who's very popular for being awful.
From the moment Meghan Markle entered the royal scene, the script changed. She wasn't bred for palace life. She challenged it. Outspoken, assertive, and unwilling to play the docile Duchess, Meghan quickly polarized both the media and the monarchy. Some praised her confidence, calling her a breath of fresh air. Others branded her a disruptor, accusing her of stirring tension behind palace walls. But love her or hate her, Meghan's presence ignited something that the royals weren't prepared for. She refused to be silent. Together, she and Harry flipped the narrative. They weren't the rebels, they were the truth tellers. Or at least, that's how they framed it. Every interview, every podcast episode, every chapter of Spare was curated to paint a specific picture. A couple breaking free from an outdated, toxic institution. But the royal family had no voice to respond. Their motto has always been, never complain, never explain. And that silence became a weapon, used against them. What unfolded was a war of narratives. On one side, a polished California brand telling their side of the story. On the other, a silent monarchy watching their legacy unravel in real time. And at the center of it all, Meghan, criticized, admired, and impossible to ignore. For years, the royal family absorbed hit after hit. Oprah, Netflix, Spare, viral interviews. They remained tight-lipped while Harry and Meghan painted the palace as cold, distant, even cruel. But behind the scenes, something was shifting. The British establishment doesn't move fast, but when it does, it strikes with purpose. And now, with the House of Lords pushing forward a petition to strip Harry of all his royal titles, the gloves are officially off. This isn't just about removing names from a website or changing the signature on official letters. It's about precedent. Because if Harry gets to dismantle royal tradition and still call himself Duke of Sussex, what stops the next royal from doing the same? What happens when duty becomes optional, but the benefits remain? The monarchy was built on structure, silence, and control. And when someone shakes that foundation, the system recalibrates. Quietly, formally, permanently. This petition isn't revenge, it's self-preservation, a signal to every aristocrat and heir. This isn't a brand, it's a birthright. You don't monetize it, you uphold it. And for Harry, the consequences of crossing that invisible line are finally catching up. Because in this war between tradition and rebellion, the institution just made its first real move.
With King Charles on his way out, Prince William is expected to take over the crown. And apparently at the top of his list is to say, "Peace out, Meghan, you're done." And he plans to formally strip Meghan Markle of her royal title.
She's slaughtered this weekend because there were some business cards in the back of one of her podcasts. She's still using her royal title, HRH, despite our late Queen warning her against.
Imagine it. No more titles, no more formalities. Just Harry, the man, the outsider, the royal without a realm. If this petition succeeds, that's exactly what he'll become. For the first time in modern memory, someone born into the monarchy's inner circle would be stripped, not by scandal or abdication, but by legislation. That's not exile, that's erasure. And while it won't delete his past, Diana's son, the soldier, the global humanitarian, it would redefine his future, losing. The title of Duke of Sussex isn't just a branding issue, it's the monarchy publicly cutting its losses. It's the crown saying, you're not one of us anymore. That's the cost of stepping outside the line and turning royal duty into media gold. Because to the palace, titles aren't accessories. They're not Instagram bios. They're the embodiment of service, sacrifice, and silence. Strip that away, and what's left? For Harry, it might be freedom. But to the establishment, it's a dangerous precedent. A prince who chose profit over protocol. And now the price is coming due. If the crown follows through, it'll be a clean break. No half royals, no soft exits. Just Harry, a man no longer shielded by history, now standing entirely on his own. This isn't just about Harry. It's about the monarchy drawing a hard line for every future royal watching from the sidelines. The era of half royals is coming to an end. No more living in California mansions while cashing in on royal mystique. No more Netflix deals wrapped in royal backstories. The message is brutal but clear. You're either in or you're out. There's no middle lane left for rebels in royal robes. For centuries, royalty thrived on mystique, on whispered power behind velvet curtains. But Harry and Meghan dragged that image into the daylight, repackaged it, and sold it to the highest bidder. And now, the monarchy is slamming that door shut. This petition isn't a slap on the wrist. It's a warning flare to every prince, duchess, and earl eyeing the exit. You want out? Fine. but don't expect to take the crown with you. And for Harry, the consequences may be permanent. The titles, the honors, the royal identity, all of it could vanish with a single vote. What started as a personal escape is ending as a public reckoning, because royalty isn't a brand, it's a role. And once you turn that role into a storyline, the crown doesn't just forgive, it expels. Prince Harry's journey was once hailed as the evolution of the monarchy, a modern prince breaking free, speaking out, redefining what royalty could be. But now it's looking more like a cautionary tale, a man born into unimaginable privilege who turned that legacy into content, controversy, and chaos. And the monarchy? It's finally had enough. The petition to strip his titles isn't just about discipline, it's a declaration. Royalty comes with rules, and breaking them has consequences. This moment marks a turning point, not just for Harry, but for every monarchy wrestling with relevance in the modern world. No more blurred lines, no more palace to podcast pipelines. For centuries, the crown endured by adapting quietly behind the scenes. But now, it's responding publicly, legally, formally. Because when a prince turns tradition into a production, the institution doesn't negotiate, it eliminates. Whatever happens next, one thing is clear. The door that's closing behind Harry may never open again. He may have started this path searching for truth, autonomy, and love, but he's ending it as something the royal family rarely tolerates, liability. And when the crown decides you're no longer an asset, there's only one direction left to go, out. So now the question is, was Prince Harry brave for speaking out, or reckless for tearing it all down? Did he expose the truth, or sell it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is the monarchy right to strip his titles, or are they just trying to silence someone who finally broke free? And if you want more deep dives into the stories the mainstream media won't tell you, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because next time, we're pulling back the curtain on another royal secret they hoped you'd never hear. You won't want to miss it.